Look at this picture without seeing the waterfall, without seeing the rocks, without seeing the trees or the grass or the foliage. Look at this picture and see just shadow shapes. Huge shadow in the upper middle and a smaller shape of shadow, or several smaller shapes of shadow on the right, and then we have little connecting shapes of shadow. So it's the shadow shape that is so important here that this lesson is all about. I can begin to vary the value here just as a block in, but we don't need to get into defining details yet. Right now I'm simply placing color at the correct value level, and so what we see happening here is that this green shape is a part of the what would you might call that, brown shape, purplish shape, orange shape, the shape of the water. Those are separate subjects, but they're part of the same value shape. So I'm going to stop that right there where those two meet. Just about right in there. And we can see that where those two meet, the shape's almost horizontal. The division of the shape is almost horizontal. But what we're looking at there is not grass, water, but we're looking at a single value shape that has a change of color within. You see where we're going with this? So that kind of refinement of whether it's in shallow or deep shadow, that kind of refinement can wait. It doesn't need to happen right now, since this is the block-in stage. But what we do need is to just look at the general degree of shadow and the color. If you use that minor contrast and you use the angle, well, you know, you can't fail. You'll be surprised at how your foliage will suddenly start coming alive, and everybody people who don't know this it's not a secret. It's simply a little technique, a technique of using value contrast. That's you know, artists have been using it for centuries, but not everybody knows it. Too many people will try to define foliage as foliage, and you have to have the elements. What we did here is to show you sort of a two-part process whereby you can study shadow shapes and study them very intricately into a refined notan, and then take those shadow shapes and learn how to block them in as shadow shapes. No matter what the subject is, it's simply shadow shape that might change in color as the shadow moves from one subject over to another.